there's nothing as powerful as a changed mind. There is nothing as powerful as a changed mind. You can change your hair, your clothing, your address, your spouse, your church, your residence. But if you don't change your mind, the same experience will perpetuate itself over and over again, because everything outwardly changed, but nothing inwardly changed. There is nothing as powerful as a changed mind. Be healed. Don't let your brokenness get you off the course of your destiny, but let it rather be healed. You have to let it be healed. Some people refuse to recover. You have to let it be healed. You have to announce to yourself, it's over. I can't change it. I can't fix it. It happened to me. I've been lame. I've been hurt. I've been twisted. I tried to solve it on my own. It didn't work. Now I'm going to let it be healed. Let it go. And I want to warn you against making permanent decisions over temporary situations. And that's a good place for you to write, this too shall pass. Hunger will pass. You'll get another opportunity. Frustration will pass. You'll get another opportunity. Loneliness will pass. You'll get another opportunity. But the enemy offers you a trick. The trick is not to be glorified. It's the stupidity you have to watch out for, because the trick is really not that good when you consider that you are giving away your future, giving away the next 30 years for the next 30 minutes. So an emotional response does not equate to change. You see, if you go on a computer, they have on a computer what they call default settings. So whether you're in Microsoft or whatever it is, whatever program it is, or any kind of program, it has a default. The default sets in the computer some principles and ideas to which the computer is committed. It does not mean that you can't function outside of the default. It just means that even if you deviate from the default, the computer will automatically take you back to default settings. And if you don't want it to do that, it's more than changing the font. You have to change the default. There's nothing as powerful as a changed mind. Changed mind. All we did was change the font. We changed the font. And while we're typing, whatever we type in, this font will appear in this font. And it will appear that it has changed. But it really has not changed, because the moment you go out and come back in again, it will come back up, back to default. This is how most people live their lives. Because their default hadn't changed, their situation hasn't changed. So when they're in church, when they're in church, they can get this going. When they're around certain people, they can get this going. When you sing certain songs, they can get that going. When you shout and leap, you can get that going. But when you go back home, you go back to default. So you're going back to default over and over again. And when you get around certain people, you change. And you want to hang around them, because as long as you're around them, you feel peace, or you feel nice, or you feel kind, or you feel spiritual, or you feel holy. That's not the problem. The problem is when you go back to yourself, you're stuck in the same pattern that you were before, and you can't figure out how to break it. You've cried about it, but you keep going back. You've shouted about it, but you keep going back. You've even prayed about it, but you keep going back. And you can't figure out how somebody who cried for it and shouted for it and sang about it and started going to church on Sunday, and why does this still keep happening to me? I don't know whose prayer I'm breaking into, but I'm breaking into somebody's prayer saying, Lord, why do I keep going through the same things over and go to church now, I tithe now, I shout now, I leap now, and the Lord sent me here to tell you it's no problem with your sentence. The problem is with your default. Until you change your default, you will always go back to being who you were before, because you have never changed your mind. You change your friends, you change your address, you change your phone number, you change the songs you sing, you changed everything else, but you didn't change your mind. There is nothing as powerful as a changed mind. A changed mind. Oh, a changed mind. Whether you do it in 12 steps or 1 step, a changed mind. Oh God, y'all don't hear what I'm saying. A changed mind. There's some people in here right now that used to do drugs, all kinds of drugs, crazy drugs, strung out on drugs. People wouldn't believe who you used to be. Your old friends never thought you would ever get away. But one day you got sick and tired of being sick and tired, and you said, wait a minute, I'm not just going to change my clothes, I'm not just going to change my address, I changed my mind. I completely changed. Yeah. There's some women in this church right now, you used to be easy. All they had to do was tell you you were cute. You were easy. One day Mike Daddy rolled up on you and said, baby, I ain't never seen nothing. If I said, wait, I changed my mind. Let me tell you something. If you change your mind, I don't care what comes up against you. I don't care who you're fighting. I don't care how big they are. I don't care how tough they are. There is nothing as powerful as a change. The devil can't do just anything to you. People can't do just anything to you. Life can't do just anything to you. I don't care how little you are. There is nothing as powerful as a change. I got sick of it. I don't like it. I don't want it. I don't need it. I changed my mind. I changed my default setting. I'm not going to fall back into the same type print I was before I changed. I'm getting ready to change some defaults. I'm getting ready to change some defaults. I'm getting ready to change some defaults. How many people are going to change some default settings? I'm going to stop falling back into the same thing over and over again. I'm not just going to change it when I'm in church. I'm going to go back in the computer and change the settings so that I can have a new normal. I'm going to stop falling back into the same old pattern, same old default setting. Whole family been in the same old default setting. I'm getting ready to change my default settings. Just because I got the last name doesn't mean I'm going to have the same setting. I'm getting ready to change my default setting. If I have to stand by myself, if mama doesn't go, if daddy doesn't go, if sister doesn't go, if brother doesn't go, I'm getting ready to change my default. There's nothing as powerful. The only way off of welfare is to change your default settings. The only way to get a good education is to change your default settings. As long as you're programmed with what you can't do and what you can't be and what you can't have, you will never get up. But I dare you to go into your phone booth like Clark Kent and spin around and come out Superman and say, wait a minute, I'm better than this. I'm getting ready to change my default setting. I will not die crackhead. I will not let you abuse me. I will not stay. There is nothing as powerful. Let me tell you something that's better than emotions, better than strong emotions, better than strong emotions is a decision. I dare you to make a decision. If you make the decision might not even have any emotions in it at all. Hit that last one, tell them it's my prerogative. It's my prerogative. I don't care if you don't like it. I don't care if you don't understand it. It is my prerogative to change my mind. Once you change the default settings, and you have a new normal. There may be moments, rare occasions, that you find yourself typing in your old font. And if you find yourself typing in your old font, the devil will come along and say you haven't been changed. But I'm gonna help you out in here. This is how you know you've been changed. It's not that you might not mess up and do what you used to do. It's just that it's no longer your normal. And when it's no longer your normal, you will never go back to it like it used to have you. Because the moment you get out of the situation, you change back into who you're supposed to be. Y'all don't hear what I'm saying to you. Both the pig and the sheep can fall into the same mud, but the difference is in the default. The pig is defaulted to lack the mud. The sheep has a default that says, I don't belong in this mess. I might be in this mess, but I don't belong. Once you change your default settings, life might make you worry sometimes. But if it's not your default setting, faith will rise up and drive your worry back and say, wait a minute, but God is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that ye may ask or think. Faith to stand up and say, don't you know the Lord didn't bring you this far to leave you? Faith to stand up and say, wait a minute, girl, you better than this. Faith to stand up and say, man, don't you know God brought you through too much for you to give up here and die? It's not that we don't get depressed. It's not that we don't get discouraged. It's not that we don't fall into sin. We may fall in it, but we can't wallow in it. Culture is an agricultural term which simply means that which is planted has been encouraged to grow. And some things have been planted in you that have been encouraged to grow. The question is, are you willing to allow a new truth to be planted in place of past experiences and thereby change your mind? Or will you be imprisoned to live a future of weakness or ignorance or evil or fear, not because you don't want to be better, that anything you focus your mind on, you can change. You don't like the way your life is going? You're the only one who can change it. You don't have to be an alcoholic. You don't have to be a failure. You don't have to be anything you don't want to be. If you ever decide to change your mind, cry all night, it won't change nothing. Sleep with the Bible on your forehead, it won't change a thing. There's something in your life you don't like. If there's a set of habits that are being perpetuated in your life you want to change, then you have the power within yourself to change your mind.